Hi, everyone. Welcome to the chats. I am Geeta Abdullah.
Hi, I'm Kim. Welcome to the chat.
Hi, I'm Sally. Welcome to the chat.
Hi, I'm Erica. Welcome to the chat.
It's me now. Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to the chat.
And hi, I'm Doris. Welcome to the chat. We've got an interesting question for you. It came out from a movie years ago, if you've ever saw When Harry Met Sally. And the question is, can men and women be friends? So what do you think?
I think it could work. Depends.
Depends.
For example, we both married people, or even if you're not married, why not? Why can't you have a male friend? I grew up with male friends because I only had brothers. I don't have a sister.
Mm-hmm.
So all my friends were guys, so I'm used to it. And eventually, even through my life path, seemed like all the business I had was a business male oriented. I feel very, very comfortable among males.
And I have some friends who are ex-boyfriends, and I'm friends with their wives, and we were meant to be friends, not anything more.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with it, I guess. What do you guys think?
America, you had an idea.
I completely agree. I grew up with two brothers, and so therefore it just happened to be in a small town where most kids were boys at the time. We had a few girls of us, but so the rest were all boys, and we grew up and still to this day are like brother and sisters and never crossed any lines of that sort. So yeah, I absolutely believe in being friends with boys because it's just a matter of, I think, friendship, and that's it. And then I also think too, as you get older and you have relationships, and that you just, if you know what you want, you don't meddle with other people. And that's just how I've been myself. And who mentioned something about being in industries where it's mainly men. I was too, and I was one of the first bartenders in a particular nightclub, and it was all men. But because I proved myself to be who I was and not meddle in the business or the people, they trusted me to be one of the first women bartenders. So I think there's lots of opportunity to be friends and just friends with men. So yeah, I think it's great. I don't see anything wrong with it. Now I have a boy and a girl, and even my daughter, she's 10, and she says things like, well, how can they call it like a girlfriend or a boyfriend? She's like, it's just a friend. I'm like, exactly, it's just a friend, and that's all it needs to be. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, definitely we can be. As long as you know your limits and everything.
Yeah, your boundaries, right?
Yes, definitely we can be friends.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think that's where I was going with as you get older, you really do understand what you're aligned with, and so therefore you only allow those men in that are aligned the same. And if they have different intentions, it's like, well, see you later. You don't give as much energy to that person, right? So yeah, just depends.
It's also about your mindset and the way that you were raised as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think when nothing is going in your mind, so obviously doesn't matter who you are friend with. And I actually found it in my education or job or whatever. I found you can grow more with your opposite gender, not because it's the opposite gender, just because you have so many differences that you can lift each other up. So for me, it's more growing and more exciting and stuff like that, without even my mind going something crazy. Something like that.
Yeah, but you brought a nice point, because growing up with boys, then it becomes like your second nature. It's that thing, right? If that's all you know, and this is all your friends, this is all you know. So you grow up then that way in the environment, and you never see anything wrong with that.
Exactly.
So now, I find this interesting because I'm personally not highly gender oriented. I'm for various reasons, but I find it interesting because this whole concept was really brought out by, as Doris said, that movie, And it was Harry who insisted that men and women could not be just friends because one or the other would eventually be attracted to the other. Now, I know he's talking about good friends, like best friends, not just acquaintances and hanging out together. But it was Sally, the woman, who insisted that it was totally possible. So I wonder if it's because we are all women that we think, sure, of course it's possible. But is it a problem with the men? Can men be friends, really good friends with women without finding some attraction to them that would then make it awkward? I wonder.
Good question. Or even if it's two women, if there's just one that is attracted to the other, can they still be friends? Can they put that attraction aside and be friends?
Right.
So maybe it's about the attraction part, maybe primal part. If you're feeling primal for someone, can you turn that to friendship?
And then there's the other issue where if you believe that men and women can be just friends, are you then okay with your spouse, partner, significant other being best friends with someone of the gender that they are attracted to?
I love it.
Comfortable
That's
with that.
great.
That's a good
If
question.
your partner has a great, like if my husband has a great woman friend, that I get the benefit. It's great if they have one. And if I have a partner who's a man, it's also good for my husband because I make some improvements. I can understand my husband better. That's my understanding from this.
That's a very good perspective. I actually appreciate that perspective. I think it depends on your person. Like you got to obviously you want to trust them, but yeah, I think it's a trust thing.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
the
they can
maturity level that
bitch about us also. Sometimes they can bitch about us also.
yeah.
And
The
for me,
husband?
as long as they're not more emotionally intimate
Yes, I know
with
that.
them than me.
Because I think that's
Yes,
huge.
than me.
So
Yes,
if they
exactly.
feel they
Because
can't
I want that emotional connection. Definitely. It's not a need. That's my desire. I want my person to be my emotional connection. So not emotionally connected to someone else. Because that's, to me, it's almost the same as a sexual connection on a different level. But no. So that's where that whole friendship thing, like it's a fine line where you have to understand that there's no crossing boundaries or just discussing things that maybe are too deep and emotional. Like
Well, there you get where different people have different boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I meant by alignment. I didn't mean it in the sense of disregarding other people's opinions or how they live, or I'm always saying that's how they do it. That's good for them. It's not how I want it, my life. So it's not good for me. So I'll align myself with others that are more aligned to my views, right?
Yeah.
So it's not disregarding anyone else. And I teach my kids the exact same thing because they may say like, why does so-and-so do this? And, oh, well, because their parents probably allow them to. We don't. And that's it. And you just kind of leave it at that. So it's the same with a relationship for sure. But I like your perspective there, Sally. That was enlightening.
I just said that because I have the experience, because we both are in business, and in business, you can't really draw a line. Yeah. Sometimes you have a client who's a man, who's a single man, and you're just thinking about work. Yeah. And we had this experience for more than 15 years, and I found it even more beneficiary. Like when my husband is working with a business partner who also is a woman, I feel like he understands me better. So this is just coming from an experience. And it goes back to the mindset and the way that you have been raised by your parents. The way that you are teaching your kids, it matters. So it just comes from an experience. I found it good. Like it's good to have different gender.
It all depends on your values and your upbringing and what you're comfortable with. And
culture.
And self-respect. And you have your boundaries. Like you could be in a room with full of men. If you have self-respect and you have your boundaries, they won't,
they don't even think about anything.
Right?
You act like
and man could protect that. You know that, right? Because someone give that signal like, oh, just get away.
Yeah. I just told my daughter also the same thing, you know, my daughter is 18 now. Like, you know, we just told her all these things, what you all are talking, you know.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
important in life.
Yeah, so do we come with a decision, or should we bring a guy aboard to come and to conclude this topic?
Yeah. Yeah.
think
Well,
that-
it's
yeah.
funny because I
That's
just
a good idea.
Yeah, that is a very good idea because you do need that other view.
Yeah.
But I've noticed sometimes too, depending, it's same with women, but depending on the man in the room, if what you give off, they will then kind of mirror back. So if you say, oh, you know, I don't meddle with other people, then, oh, me neither. Or, oh yeah, I know, because it can create, and they, you know, they can get in the conversation, but then you can notice that same person talking to someone else in a different manner. And you're like, you know, maybe they could sway either way. But yeah, that's a very good point of what's the man's view.
Good.
Yeah.
So we will probably, you know, consider that, and we'll have the part 2 of this chat. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I hope you like it, and good night for now.
Good night.
Good night.